Jacob Zuma is clamping down on the media. Journalists are being intimidated, sometimes even shot in the streets with live ammunition or rubber bullets. Something has to be done about this, and it has to be reported on. I'm going to read you an article from All Africa Today for speed to give you the lowdown on this. I've shown part of my research. This article is by Franny Rabkin. Johannesburg. The Protection of Information Bill was unnecessary, unconstitutional and undesirable. The General Council of the Bar submitted to Parliament yesterday, adding its voice to the widely held view that the bill would not pass constitutional muster. Parliament ad hoc committee on the bill has received and public heard submissions on it, but State Security Minister Sibiogo Sawili has yet to respond to them. This is just another example of the poor administration in South Africa under the ANC. The Bar Council submission said the bill had, in quotes, a number of dangerous features which are inimical to the very constitutional values and rights which the bill purports to be safeguarding, end quotes. It is also unnecessary because the information covered by the bill, and that should generally be kept confidential, was protected from disclosure under the Promotion of Access to Information Act. In quotes, in light of the provisions of the PAIA, it is accordingly difficult to discern a legitimate state reason for wanting to introduce a secondary protective layer of laws protecting Jacob Zuma from the media, the Bar Council said. It also argued that the bill would have a confusing effect and would be on how previous laws would be applied and what would happen in the situation where the PAIA gave discretion to any information officer to disclose information classified under the bill. The Bar Council referred to the founding values of the Constitution, which included accountability, responsiveness and openness, end quotes. Then there would be a constitutional right of freedom and expression, that is under section 16 of the South African Constitution, and access to the information held by the state, section 32 under the South African Constitution. The PAA was introduced to give effect to section 32 to the extent that the Protection of Information Bill would lead to more information being withheld than could be withheld with the PAIA. The bill was contrary to the constitutional scheme and therefore unjustifiable limitation on section 32. The Bar Council said that the bill would be unjustifiably infringe on the right to freedom of expression because the restrictions on access to the information and the draconian custodial sentences, now this is legal language here, it's quite openly hostile to Jacob Zuma there, and were out of proportion to any purported benefit derived from the shielding of classified information. The bill could of course also prejudice litigants in court. Restricting litigants' access to state documents was not only undesirable, but it could be contrary to the right of the access to the courts. So I'd like to thank Franny Rabkin from All Africa Today for writing that. Furthermore, it's to protect Jacob Zuma from prosecution for the alleged rape of several women by him since before he was president. The guy is an absolute psychopath, just like Julius Malema sings for the death of white people and Bring Me My Machine Gun. Women in South Africa have the most to lose from somebody like Jacob Zuma, that is black and white women. Somebody who have the most to lose from Jacob Zuma gaining victory, because the European society, the European values of natural and economic rights for women have been one of the founding stones of South African society. Yes, South African society is a very macho, patriarchal society, even amongst the Boers and the Afrikaners and English-speaking peoples, but that is still preferable to somebody who's having a president who is a rapist. We must develop our own intelligence gathering and media protections in South Africa. I am not South African, I am British, but I'm trying to help you. And when I say we, let me respond to the people who have said, why do you keep saying we? I'm for the we is those people who want to protect South Africa. We the people who want to protect South Africa and help South Africa. We must develop a media network that has safe houses that protects the media, and get our Africana wiki-leaks organisation set up to get our message out and to defeat people like Julius Malema and Jacob Zuma. He is public enemy number one in South Africa as far as I'm concerned. He's trying to clamp down on the media so he can stay in power. He might even use the army after Mandela has died to stay in power. It's happened before in Africa so many times. Do not let this tragedy. We're in the edge of the heart of darkness here. Just keep posted, and thank you for Franny Rabkin for writing that article. And I hope that they'll be pleased for me using it in my blog. Thank you for listening. Peace, and let's have hope for the future and Boer independence on the EU model.